Yes, of course they are.
Embrace true power.
And right now, I think... What do I think? I have to go to Uruk 5. And I have to go to the astropathic station. And I know that if you do things like not in the way they should be dealt with, there will be consequences. And for the love of Holy Emperor, if I click Uruk 5, and there will be another interruption. Thank you. Lord Captain reporting the heralds of the Navis nobility continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Uruk 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. Nope. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobility House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmissions. And I wonder, if I go here, will it change this? Because this will change. Probably. I don't know, but probably I don't know even if this were before here. Order the Argo crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Figdis's measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They not wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. They not. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators, heralds, ignoring us? Turn back, no one dares to give me orders. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Contact the station again, I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadent sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I am sorry, Lord Captain, the station does not reply, even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the crew to commence docking. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely and may the God Emperor light your path. Yes, I will go with this crew because I have no other one. Yep. They added the cute cutscene.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Kill you
Give
all.
up, Keeper. You have lost this battle.
Again. Again?
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Grudges, you will be considered to oblivion, consigned to oblivion, transgressions against House of Serial. Immortal Emperor will deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House of Serial, I command you to execute the infidels. With a shotgun? A shotgun to the face. Not a step further. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lower slit in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. If you would be so kind. Seneschal takes a deep breath. Before you stand his lordship, the rogue trader Oscar Volvalencius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Kronos expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that nobility custom require the Lord's Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances on the station, his lordship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye on your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. There is a dangerous glint in the man's dark shrouded eyes. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stand Felek Christoph August, keeper of this place. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Urak 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. The navigator looks at his guards and winces. The soldiers are quivering as if their tormented flesh were being flayed, yet they keep clutching their weapons? So he's like mind controlling them? Provide me with a navigator and I will immediately depart the station. I came here in search of navigators, so you are coming with me. I'm looking for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one Heinrichs van Kallax. Do you know anything about his present location? The Lord Inquisitor Interrogator. I think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay us a visit. Vile mutants commanded by the Emperor. Why would a keeper of station command vile mutants? I came here in search, but the blame lies with the Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Urak 5. The old man was a great navigator, but he could not longer control his powers. I begged him to retire, but he was too obsessed with our mistress, Lady Cassia. His mindedness and stubbornness spelled a doom for the entire station, for he opened his third eye in a fit of rage and unleashed the horrors of the warp on those who displeased him. The Theobald I knew would never have used his powers in such a reckless manner. This will be difficult to explain to the uninitiated, but I am going to try. Oh, great. The warp currents in the system have been tumultuous for dozens of cycles and have worn the veil between our world and the Immaterium thin and frail, at least here on the station. The ruinous powers are trying to tear it down completely and corrupt all living things. The servants were first to fall victim to it. Their bodies morphed, and pain and despair drove the poor souls mad. The lunatics took my mistress prisoner and almost destroyed the station, but I rallied the few who still followed the light of the Golden Throne to set these things right. The Lord Navigator here is speaking the unvarnished truth. I bet the station is full of voices and whispers, all trying to break through from the other side, waiting for you to reach out and swing the door open wide. Do it gladly. I sincerely hope the influence of Immaterium has not yet affected your body and your soul. With all due respect, I advise you not to remain at the station. Return to your void ship. I need to save Lady Cassia. If you are not willing to help or indeed risk your life, you must leave now. Take him by force. I do not care about your mistress. I am looking for a navigator and you will do. What kind of help are you talking? I still have questions concerning the situation of the station. Our idle chatter will not save Lady Cassia, but if you need to be sure of something before you can help, so be it. The warp drove the servants insane, but failed to affect you and Lady Cassia. Felek gently touches the closed eye on his forehead. Thanks to a special gene, navigators are more resistant to the emanation of the warp than mere mortals. This is what allows us to guide ships through the Sea of Souls. Tell me about your mistress. Regretfully, I'm not allowed to discuss my mistress, whether with her retinue or the outsiders. She will tell you about herself personally if she feels like it. This is assuming she survives. I am begging you not to waste any more of our precious time, for it is running out. My men have reported that the station is a deplorable state. What makes you think your mistress is still alive? A spark of concern flickers in the black pits of Felix's eyes. You must not believe me, but Lady Cassia is capable of. The navigator cringes, seemingly in pain, and furiously exhales. Incredible things. Not even the traitor Theobald can easily harness her power. So why did you not respond? I have already said Uruk 5 is sacrosanct. It is the holy domain of the Navis nobility, and it is forbidden for commoners from the world below. We had hoped to solve the crisis on our own, but when the situation spiraled out of control, we could not establish contact because the traitors had disabled our equipment. My men have reported that the station is in a... Whoa. The navigator irritably brushes away a strand of bloodied hair. Trust me, I should know. Everything happened too quickly. There were dozens of reports of accidents, victims and failing systems, but the only precious thing aboard this station is Lady Cassia's life. Everything else is futile and can be easily replenished. Well, enough questions. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such favor under different circumstances, and yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. Felix takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. In order to ascend to the mistress's chamber, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. I wonder if I had the guy from the other planet, I would do everything in there and came here, he would get me to the Orselio, to the Cassia. Why should I help you? You came to the station for a reason. House Orselio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfying by it reaches, influence, or the powers of the navigator. How do I remake the control road? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priests ceaselessly perform the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit could serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard's room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. If it's so simple, why don't you do it yourself? Wait. I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory, and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate, and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis nobility or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. This universe, everything is made by Hammer, by the Warhammer. Just shoot them all, kill them all. So what have you decided, descendant of the von Valencius line? The woes of your house upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of the Prophet, but for the good of the Imperium. Will cost House Orselio, but you should rejoice, for your mistress will live. Oh god, I will rescue your mistress, but in return I require that House Orselio sign a contract with my protectorate. This is good. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator from her woes. Yeah, I will rescue the mistress, but in return I require that House Orselio sign a contract with my protectorate. Felix's reply sounds curt and tired. So be it. Hurry, and the mistress's safety is all that matters. But should you fail, our agreement is finished. Seal veil engraved with the initials. Can I loot those people? Nope. Can I find something hidden? Probably not. I need to change my... why am I on the front? You two should be in front. Oh yeah. That's the stuff.
The world
Okay.
will bow.
White. Bright, pure color. and it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
If the wit talking about the enemies of humanity who set upon this abode of noble navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
Oh yeah, they soon dispel those. First, let me level up. Do I need agility? I need agility to dodge. And I need ballistic skills. And why they are... Oh, they're full. Oh. Okay, so agility it is. Origin talents, archetype talents, nothing. Universal features, origin tunnels, combat addict. Fortress world characters gains +7 to ballistic skill, perception, and willpower, and -7 to all of them out of combat. At the end of the turn, Fortress world characters gain stacks of never stop shooting equal to half the minimal damage. Each round, Fortress world character gains stacking 1% bonus dodge against ranged attacks for each shot they made during this round. Also, the ranged burst attack grants an additional 10 stacks of never stop shooting. Physical training. Shields blow. Oh. The arbitrator successfully attacks. Reduce enemy's armor by 18% for 1 round. As long as the arbitrator has more than 19% wounds, they are immune to following. Law and order. The arbitrator's attacks made on order's turn deal 30% more damage, 13% more damage. The target of such an attack must pass a willpower resistance test or become immobilized for 1 round. Attacks made on orders. Orders turns. Oh. So like the shot of opportunity. Parry incoming damage. Mob Justic allies in the 3 cell radius around the arbitrator to 7% more damage. This is I don't know what this is. Throw a grenade that does not deal damage on impact. That action costs 0 AP and does not count toward the attack per limit turn. Just a simple grenade. At least it should be like a gravitational grenade that moves people around. This would be great. Heroic Doctor Disparative Measures. They gain 16 to coercion and 3 block. Nope. During the tactical phase, the arbitrator can place in a cell adjacent to... Nope. Enemy adjacent to the arbitrator fails a willpower resistance test. For the first time in a round, that enemy provokes an attack of opportunity from the arbitrator. If multiple enemies fail this test, you pick at random. Steady Hand of Justice. With a one-handed shock baton or a one-handed power maul equipped at arbitrators gains 10 parry, weapon skill reduced. So I have shotgun mastery. Shit. Weapon skill is ballistic skill. The arbitrator can make attacks of opportunity with a ranged weapon that they can use in melee range. Yep, I will take that. Abelard. You will take toughness. And what do you have here? %, wounds imperial character contain bonus to all characteristic and 2 to resolve. Ready to serve. Affected by any ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally with such as an ability to resolve increased by 1. Excluding Xenos in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity finest. Evasive maneuvers. Allies with the braced effect